Hello and welcome to Frank's School. There's big goings on upstairs, so you may hear some banging and thumping. But I'm going to go ahead and teach anyway, my 110th day this year. About class vocabulary and the correcting of it, I should have pointed out that when I ask the questions aloud, I try to put them in chronological order. That is, in the order that I taught them. When I was teaching the humanities, I would not jumble that up to confuse the kids. I would always be trying to keep that idea of chronological order in their minds. Now with the words, I did mix them up. I never gave them to them in exactly the same order that they had them to study. I mixed that up. And partly there, one of the things I was doing was getting kids ready to see if they could study a foreign language. If you cannot learn new vocabulary, it's pretty safe to say that you're never going to do well with class vocabulary. With a foreign language. And another thing, I said I wouldn't give them a neatness point if they blot it out. If they blot it out like that, I would take a point off. I told them they could strike out. That's fine. That doesn't make the paper messy. But if they did that, that then made the paper messy, and anywhere on it I would take a point off. I encourage them to do this a lot. I would know instantly that they had struck it out, they didn't mean to have that there. I didn't explain that thoroughly enough. Now, if this exercise that I call class vocabulary, if it appeals, here's where I began it this year with the video 2.104.1. Last year, imagining that I had 8th graders, this year it was 9th graders, I imagined, I began it at video 28.1 up to there, and I maybe more thoroughly explained it then, but it should have been just about the same thing. I'm a big fan of it. I just think it's probably the best technique I had in my equipment, in my toolbox, if you will, for teaching. And when I first taught, I used it a lot. I always enjoyed it. It was random. Just think, every class, I didn't know what the words were going to be going into the class. I didn't know what they would be. So I would get 3 new words, or 4, per class to deal with. 15 to 18 words per day that I would be dealing with. This is from my perspective. I didn't have to know the words because the students, if they did good work, they had everything. I just had to run it. 60 to 72 words per week. Now, most of the time, 90% of the time or more, I knew what the word was. I could use it. And the kids used to be amazed at that. But it's because I was an adult and they were 13, 12, 13, 14 years old. Their vocabulary was maybe half what mine was. So anyway, and of course it taught writing. It was random. You had that feeling with every class and every student that they were making something new every time, not just working out of somebody's decision that here's a list of words that you should know. These are good words to know, and you're obeying that, you're learning those words. It was so much more exciting than that. I had hoped last year when I introduced this that it would catch on and I would have people viewing my course and contributing words. It didn't happen. I think it could be done with a forum. I understand it better. I suppose if you created a forum and you had enough viewers and they went to the forum every day, you could do that if you moderated a forum. I don't think I'm ready to do that. But that would be the route that I would go at this point. Maybe someday on my blog I'll create a forum when I have time. All right, class vocabulary, that's it for this year. Now what? Well, starting, I guess, tomorrow, I don't mean to keep putting this off, but starting tomorrow, I'm going to deal with the archaeology of Conemaugh Village. That's the village. That's the oldest name I know for the village that was here where this farm is. As field trips, at first I said a field trip. Well, it's going to be about 6 or 8 field trips. As I walk around and basically tell everything that I can about what's in the ground for that deserted, lost village. So that'll take a week I would say maybe a week and a half. And for some of you, time out. You may not be interested in archaeology, but it's something I really feel that I need to do. So whether you're interested or not, I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to turn to loving German. Why for most of my life have I loved the German language? I'm going to see if I can show you why I do that. Now, to get ready for that, in the process, you may well learn some German. At first I thought I would teach German, teach you German. Well, you can learn German for the rest of your life. You know, how much can I do in a month or so? And I thought, well, maybe I can, if I can't, you can't maybe teach somebody to love something, but if I can show why I love German, I'll be satisfied. Now, if you want to get ready and you actually want to learn some German in the process, which I encourage, 44.1 last year was grammar, and I'm going to need you to understand me well. You really do need to know your traditional grammar. 84.1 on for a ways is traditional syntax. I put it in parentheses. It's not as important, but I think of myself as teaching 9th graders, and in 8th grade they learned this in preparation to study a foreign language. Then 171.3, I actually taught German. I gave a little introduction to German that you should view. It's not very long. And also 35.1, there's the videos. I'm talking about the videos. That's where I began linguistics, and it would help a lot. If you want to thoroughly understand what I'm going to be doing in that month, you really should do this. I'm going to go back certainly and look at what I have already taught in German. After that, I'm going to analyze. I thought about just saying a movie, but I'll tell you what the movie is. Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. It's a movie about St. Francis of Assisi. I intend to view that and analyze that movie, how it was made. By that time, I'm going to be going off to Portugal and Spain for 2 weeks. And when I finally come back, I'll probably try to have about 10 days left, and I'll turn to the neighbor's barn, back sort of to the beginning of the year, and I'll have some things, I'm sure, to say about that trip to Europe. Okay, I guess that's it for today, and if things go as planned, tomorrow I'll be beginning to deal with the archaeology of the lost village of Connemara. See you tomorrow.